characters like Shanks, Shamrock, and Blackbeard, for example, we all know that they are actually coming from God Valley. And in God Valley, we also have the presence of their mothers. And their mothers were important figures back then, but guess what happened? Guess what Eiichiro Oda decided to do? Just like usual in the One Piece story, all the mothers of One Piece feels like need to die. So here we are in another episode of Which Mother Died in One Piece? Let's go! That is so dark. But in the events of God Valley and in the events of literally what happened 39 years ago, you've got literally on the side of Im-sama, slash the God's Knights, the Celestial Dragons, and the Marines and the world government that went to God Valley because they were like, hey, they basically are the Davy clan and we need to destroy them right now. The second thing was, oh, but still, they've got a lot of resources, so we need to grab on all of those resources before we completely destroy it, you know? And the third reason was because they would not actually accept the invitation of the world government to join the world government in a way, because they knew that they were themselves the Davy clan and they knew themselves that they were the enemies in a way. That's why they were like, we don't want to be a part of you, that's why. But as soon as Saint Garling figured out that they were actually the Davy clan, he went to Im and the Gorosei and he was like, yes, we need to go, and I know where the hunt is gonna be taken in a few years. So let's organize this shit and let's go for it. And basically the events of God Valley totally destroyed God Valley and brought it all the way down to the underground, you know? And in those events, when also you had legendary figures like Rock D. Chebek, aka Davy D. Chebek, show up and all of that. You've had Garp, you've had Goldie Roger, basically all of the legend of this world showed up to God Valley. All of that literally just led to its destruction. But from that one, what happened to basically all of the citizens and all of the people that used to live on God Valley? Well, two choices. Either they literally were saved by people, for example, Monkey D. Dragon or Kuma, and due to those people, they finally got out of literally that hellhole that was God Valley at that point. And the second option, literally you were dead, because it was a hunt and the Celestial Dragons were basically hunting everybody. Citizens, not citizens, if they saw you, they will shoot you. And they had a system of hierarchy. If the higher you were in the hierarchy of God Valley, the higher points you would get. For example, if you shoot a regular citizen, you would get like 10 points or something like that. But if you shoot, like, for example, the king, you would get 10,000 points, which Saint Garling did from the very beginning of that whole hunt bullshit, you know? And from that perspective, we have literally Shanks, Shamrock, and Blackbeard that were basically born in a way on God Valley, and they come from God Valley, and their mothers are coming from God Valley. And the mother of Shanks and Shamrock, from my own understanding of One Piece, I understand that people that live on God Valley are from the Davy clan. If you are a Davy clan member, you must be a D member too. So you must have that D initial in your name. And all of that says that basically all of those people, the Davy clan, come from one ancestor. And the ancestor is Davy D. Jones. And so from there, we can assume that they are all from the same clan in a way, from the same ancestry in a way, and all of that. And at the same time, a Celestial Dragon was talking about how maybe all of the Davy clan members are buccaneers. So from that perspective, it opens up a new door, because now we are thinking that all of the Davy clan members are actually buccaneers, and they come from the ancestor that was Davy D. Jones, and he was probably a buccaneer as well, you know? And so from that perspective, you get to Shanks and Shamrock. The mother, we literally saw her in one of the previous chapters of One Piece, and we basically saw that she was in love in a way with Saint Garling. And as soon as she gave birth to Shanks and Shamrock, I will tell you that they are considered the Destiny Children or something like that, because basically, in a way, they represent half the D clan and half of all of Im-sama's clan and all that stuff. For example, with the Celestial Dragon, because their mother on one side is a D-member clan with the Davy clan, and on the other side, she is part of the Celestial Dragon clan with all of that, with Saint Garling basically. And from their reunion after the birth of Shanks and Shamrock, we have Saint Garling that comes to the mother, and he's like, oh, they're so cute and all of that. But then the mother is like, yeah, can you actually stay with us and help me, like, you know, make them take care of the kids and all of that, you know. She wants literally a family life basically. But as soon as Saint Garling is like heard that, he turns around and he's like, I don't want to be with you, and basically he told her off. And he also told her that he's got another woman in sight for him. Basically he was talking about Shaki at that point. And guess what the asshole actually did? He literally took his sword and poof, he stabs the mother of Shanks and Shamrock. Like, what the hell is going on with the Celestial Dragons? They don't understand how precious life is or something like that? Like, I don't understand. But you also get it that Saint Garling is literally also a devil. I'm telling you, he is literally evilness on this earth. Because to the point where you do that to the mother of your own kids, I'm sorry, what kind of creature are you, you know? But for the mother of Shanks and Shamrock, we just know that she's a Davy clan member, and we saw her literally in a couple pages in the latest chapters, but we don't know about her age, for example. We just know about her face and her like how she looked like, for example. And she also had the same hair color that her kids also have, and basically she had red hair, you know. And so on the events on Gad Valley, for example, before even the hunt started and all of that, the mother of Shanks and Shamrock already died, you know, which is horrible, but hey, that's the life of Shanks and Shamrock's mother. And then when we move on to the second mother that we have, Blackbeard's mother, because we got Blackbeard's mother's face at least in one of the latest chapters, basically in like literally 1 or 2 sections of like literally 1 page. But we got to see her face. And from what Ichiro Oda was saying, he was like, yeah, she looks ugly, whatever. She does not look that ugly, you know. But Blackbeard's mother also is a member of the D clan from my understanding. And also, per se, maybe a buccaneer as well. Same as for Shanks and Shamrock's mother. And that's why Shanks and Shamrock, I'm probably guessing that they are buccaneers as well, you know. Like half buccaneers at least. Because they are already taller than the regular people and all of that. And also for the same thing for Blackbeard. So maybe the mother was also a member of the D clan, a buccaneer, but we don't know per se like her age and all of that. We literally just saw her here and there, boom, that was it. But from that perspective, I was saying that basically it feels like all the mothers of the biggest characters of One Piece literally have to die so that the characters basically grow, which is a messed up message to send with One Piece basically. But hey, but Eiichiro Oda himself, he said that if the mother was still alive, the character would not be so fond of going outside and going on adventures and all of that. So is it a way of telling you that having a mother will stop you from living your dreams and going for it? I don't know, but it is just the perspective on One Piece, and basically in the events of Gad Valley, we lost literally the mother of Shanks, Shamrock, and Blackbeard at the same time, which is very tragic, but at the same time, a lot more mothers actually died in the events of Gad Valley. And we should not forget about the events of Gad Valley. And Im-sama, the Guard Knights, the Celestial Dragons should pay. I'm telling you. On that note, guys, let me know what you guys think about this video. Let me know down in the comments below, and your boy is gonna see you in the next video. And don't forget to like and subscribe.